I had to start. Actually, I had to redo this video because I didn't realize we're at the on the third day of Star Wars. My true love gave to me a reboot, not a reboot, a better movie. One movie that's better than the entire prequel trilogy. Yeah, that's what it is. What's going on? Like we got to the 9 days of Star Wars. We're down to the third day. Like I said, we count down. We're at the Force Awakens, which is I won't tell you where this lands at on my top Star Wars movies, but just know it's pretty high. I can watch this movie all day long and never get tired of it. It honestly gets better. Excuse me. It honestly gets better and better with each viewing. You see something that you didn't notice the first time, and I know a lot of people like to say, "Hey, it's just a rehash of the first one." I don't give a fuck. Kiss my ass. It does a lot of stuff different, and it does a lot of stuff, in my opinion, I think better. Uh, I think for me, the introduction of Luke compared to the introduction of Ray is different. I think I love Ray. I, I, I love Ray and Finn's character. Those are probably my two of my top favorite Star Wars characters out of everybody. Not just from just this. It's like out of everybody. Those two characters, you automatically, I swear, you connect with them so quick. Finn, a stormtrooper taken as a child and was only trained to do one thing until he just said, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. Something I'm pretty sure, it doesn't seem like anybody else has ever done, a stormtrooper disobeying his orders and completely leaving. I can't wait to see what happens, that whole arc with him and Phasma. And because he said, I think John Boyega even said in an interview, like, yo, this stuff he did in Force Awakens had repercussions. And so we going to get the duel between him and Phasma. I can't wait to see that. That's something of its own. And then the whole story of Rey. To me, when I first watched it, I didn't really care about who her parents were. Now it's just kind of a thing like who you think her parents are. To me, I wouldn't care if they're like nobodies and we never heard of them before. That wouldn't bother me at all because I don't feel like it means as much to me. It might mean a lot more to other people because they like, hey, she's a Kenobi, she's a Skywalker, she's a Palpatine. Like to me, that really does not matter at all. To me, I like Ray is Ray for me, like that. And this whole movie from beginning to end, there was no part I didn't like. Uh, and you had a, I ain't gonna call Kylo Ren a great villain. I'm gonna call Kylo Ren a good villain because when I first watched it and he lost to and he couldn't just take down Finn or Ray just like that. I was kind of frustrated because he actually had training and neither one of them actually had training. But you have to look at how he was hurt and him just steady hitting that wound when they was fighting in the woods. That whole thing was great because if you look at it, he was pushing Finn back. All right, it's not like Finn was just really, he was pushing Finn back. He kind of was torn with, and he had a chance to beat Ray, but he tried to bring Ray over to his side. Like everything was, I think, you go back and I've watched it so many times. I watched it, I think, 5 times in the past month. You just go back and watch certain stuff, and not even because of Last Jedi, just because I just like watching it. Like I was saying, like you go back and watch that scene, you see why certain things were happening because he was still fighting with, you know what I'm saying, he was still getting pulled, trying to get pulled to the light, and you know he wants to join the dark side. But the whole thing with this one thing, I really come to realize is that like no, I was about to say when I first watched it, I hated that he took off his mask. When it was the very first time I watched, first time I went to the theater and watched it, and then over time I was like, I think probably the very next time I think I saw it in theaters twice. Yeah, I saw it in theaters twice. So the second time I saw it, I was like, you know what? It actually makes more sense because it's not like he's just trying to be. He wants to be Vader, but this really separates him and Vader because Vader never took off his mask. Of course, he's ugly as hell. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a lot of pot on his face. That, you know what I'm saying? That's probably one reason. But at the same time, with Kylo's mask off, you see all the emotion, him being torn for having to do the things he having to do, and you can tell that he's just not as cold as he wants to be. You know what I'm saying? Even when he killed Han, and to me, I didn't mind Han dying. It was good for the movie because Han wasn't Han from the first three. Because that Han to me was like he's that it. You can tell they're two different characters because he's older and he was younger then. He had a little more attitude to him then. He didn't have quite the same attitude. He was older, more scarred. You know what I'm saying? He has a son that went bad, so he shows more emotion. The first Han was pretty much like this cool ass, badass dude who just didn't give a fuck. So that's why the whole story element of Finn and a lot of people like Poe. I ain't gonna say I don't like. I like his character. It's just I didn't see enough of him. I hope we see more of him. And but the crazy Oscar Isaac is a great actor, but to see that little and still, you know what I'm saying, be on board for a character, we all know that they were actually going to kill him off, but did such a great job. Now he gets a bigger role, and hopefully he has a pretty nice sized role in The Last Jedi. The only thing I'm wondering, a couple questions The Last Jedi has is like, where's Luke been and why did he leave? That's one of the things you have to ask, and that's just something you tend to ask, but you probably could ask the same thing about Obi-Wan and Yoda. You never got an answer to that, really. So even if Luke doesn't answer, like, yo, why you been gone this whole time? It really doesn't matter because doesn't nobody ask Obi-Wan and Yoda, like, why y'all dip, why everybody, you know what I'm saying, gone. The the First Order. I fuck with the First Order. I can't quite think of who the guy is. The guy who be pumping all the stormtroopers up. I fuck with that nigga. I hope he actually get a better role and a bit. What I can say that not that much bigger. But you know what I'm saying. I just hope he make a dope appearance and give one of his amazing speeches. But yeah, and Force Awakens was for me. It was great from beginning to ending. There was nothing I didn't like about this movie. Uh, everything I didn't like at first. After a few more viewings, I come to really understand and enjoy more. So, the Rey on her journey to becoming who she is and becoming stronger and learning that she has the Force within her. I thought Finn was gonna have it too. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I wanted Finn to get a lightsaber. I'm still holding on to hope. I'm one of those people who's still holding on to hope that Finn can become a Jedi. I'm holding on to hope because it's like Poe's the pilot. I know you gotta raise the Jedi, and Finn supposed to be like the guy in the middle, but I still need him to be like. Even if you don't get a lightsaber, I just need him to be one with the Force. Okay, that'll be cool. And him being knocked out, and I'm getting into like the Last Jedi stuff. But anyway, Force Awakens is amazing, like front to back. I love Force Awakens. That's all I'm gonna say. And Finn and Poe, and Rey, and Kylo. I cannot wait to see more of them. I don't have a Snoke theory. Snoke is Snoke for me. I think a lot of people ain't gonna like the stuff from the other movies so much, so they really Snoke is Snoke, Rey is Rey. That's just how it is. Because I'm not finna make a whole theory about Finn. Like maybe it's Finn's parent. Finn's uncle was Mace Windu. Like people, I mean, listen, bro. I'm just watching, and I enjoy these characters for who they are. And if they have like some big backstory with their parents, that's cool. To me, it's not going to make it or break it for me. But this was about Force Awakens. And I just got into so much other stuff because I guess it just naturally comes when you start talking about something. But Force Awakens, like I said, front to back. Even though I'm getting tired of the whole Death Star thing, and I forgot what they called it in this, but the way it took out like 3 planets at once, so that was dope. Can't even. And then we actually saw the girl from from DC Legends of Tomorrow, Maya, she was on a planet that got blew up. I'm wondering, like, yo, why did you get Cat? Why did you want that part? Did you just want to be in a Star Wars movie? Because, like, you died pretty quick. You didn't get a line. You just got a. That was it. I don't know. But anyway, this is why. Thanks for joining me for the 9 days of Star Wars. We have 2 more days left. Uh, Tomorrow is Rogue One, and then the next day is my list of these movies in order from ones I like the most to least to most, worst, best to worst. However the fuck you say it. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. You gotta let me know what you think of Force Awakens. Did you guys enjoy it, or was it too much of a rehash of stuff for you guys? You know.